Hi, Kavneet. Let's take a look at this new set of essays. Okay. Marriage and birth in your 30s. So here's what you said. Getting married is one of the most crucial decisions that a person has to make. Earlier, people used to get married in their early 20s. Not earlier, because earlier people, it's not really clear what you're trying to say. So let's fix that. Maybe in the past, comma, people used to get married in their early 20s. However, with the changing times, plural, people prefer to get married when they reach their 30s without the in. While others believe it a negative trend, I would argue that this is an appropriate age to settle down in life and start family planning. This essay will analyze why this is a positive development and why I support it by taking examples from a recent study to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay. The grammar, but other than that, it's fine. To begin with, it is quite obvious these days that before sharing our life with someone, no comma, comes a lot of individual goals which people look forward to achieving. These goals are in the form of acquiring higher education, traveling the world, and having a well-settled career in life. This gives an opportunity to a person to discover him or herself and have a more mature outlook towards life. And once a person is capable enough to handle life on his own terms, it becomes easier to have a healthy relationship with the life partner. Moreover, having a family and giving a reasonable environment to, what do you mean a reasonable? You mean, I don't know what that means, to give a reasonable environment. To raise children in today's world has become quite a challenging task. For this reason, I would say that people should not get married unless they feel fully accomplished in their life, and this sense of fulfillment is difficult to obtain in one's 20s, because studies and career take up most of one's life, not part. I didn't really understand this expression, a reasonable environment. I think you mean something else, a comfortable environment, and you don't give, you provide a comfortable environment. I also think you should have extended this a little bit more. So why has it become a challenging task? What exactly do you mean? So that needed a little extension, okay? However, many people are of the view that getting married after one's 20s or after their 20s can result in complications while family planning. Numerous studies have indicated that the right age to become a mother is before 30, singular, because a woman's body is more supportive of hormonal changes at that time. Moreover, there is also a possibility that people may lose faith in the institution of marriage and get into a relationship for the sake of society by that time. Why? Explain it to me, develop it. What kind of evidence do you have for this? So you absolutely need to extend this a little more. In my opinion, no doubt. Okay, let's try that again. In my opinion, undoubtedly, medical complications are increasing these days. However, we never start a sentence with but. However, at the same time, several treatments are also available, and giving birth to a child has become possible even after one's 40s. Similarly, for compatibility and mutual understanding, which is the right age? This. You say this, but what is that age? This is the right age to get married because people in their 20s still tend to have a childish approach towards life, which can harm relationships. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. In conclusion, after weighing both the pros and cons, I could not agree more that the advantages of getting married when adults reach their 30s, get rid of in, far outweigh the disadvantages, and I totally support this development as long as it brings a sense of maturity and coordination in the couples. Okay, so there are a couple problems here. Primarily, the problems are with your coherence and cohesion. It's with your paragraphing and with the way you ordered your ideas. You are in favor of this paragraph, okay? So look what you did. You're in favor of this paragraph, then you presented the opposite side, and then you basically said that you were in favor of the first paragraph in a third body paragraph. So I felt like this was all wrong. First of all, as you probably know by this point, we support a 4-paragraph structure. So having one paragraph just for your own opinion doesn't seem appropriate. It should have belonged elsewhere. Actually, within the paragraph that you were supporting, and not on its own. Furthermore, we always talk about the side that we don't support first, and then we talk about the side that we support. So basically, the order should have been first, second, and then this should have been incorporated into this paragraph in some way. Okay? And it kind of felt superfluous because you already said, I would say that people said, so, etc., etc. Now, what you could have done here is if you wanted to refute some of the ideas in this paragraph, you could have. So you could have said all of this, and then you could have said, why you disagree with all of those reasons, okay, which is kind of what you did here, but you could have put it all in one paragraph. So again, start with this, okay, with the complications of family planning, hormones, etc., and then you could have said then that while there may be some validity to this, medical science has improved and has advanced to such a great degree that this should be no reason to alarm people into getting married and having children before they are emotionally and psychologically mature enough to do so. Okay, so that would have been a better way to develop this, kind of maybe incorporate some of this here in order to refute some of these ideas here, okay? But again, it should have come right after your introduction, since this isn't the side that you agree with. And then the side that you do agree with comes closer to the conclusion. I apologize, okay? But some nice things here. There were some grammar problems that I had to change. They kept saying in their 30s, not in their 30s, wait. Yeah, there were little grammar things like in the 30s, but that's wrong because when we say things like in the 20s and the 30s, we're really talking about the years. So, for example, in the 70s, disco was very popular. Okay, so that's how we use that. But when we're talking about somebody's age, we say in their 30s or in one's 30s. So it's got that possessive. Okay, let's take a look at your letter, the restaurant letter. Great. Dear Sir, I'm writing this letter to complain about the food that I was served last Sunday, not with. It was my first time that I paid a visit to your restaurant with the recommendation of one of my cousins who is a regular customer, who has been a regular customer for the last 3 years. Have to change tense and this year. I was accompanied by 3 of my friends who came to visit me all the way from the USA, and I brought them for dinner to your restaurant. The moment we entered, we were not attended by any of your waiters. After almost 25 minutes, a waiter came to take the order. We had clearly given instructions to him to avoid putting spices in our food, since one of our friends is allergic to spices, but the waiter did not pay attention to us, and one of my friends who ate the fat food is suffering from food poisoning. This has been really embarrassing for me. Neither did your waiter nor your master chef listen to us at the restaurant when we asked him to change the food. Since your services were unappreciative and your food lacked quality, I would not hesitate to ask for a refund for the money that I paid for the unsatisfactory services by your employees. Moreover, I highly recommend you to either train your staff to deal politely with customers or hire a new team, because these types of delayed and bad services can seriously damage the reputation of your restaurant. I request you to address my complaint as soon as possible, lest I have to seek legal advice from my lawyer. A prompt reply is solicited. Yours faithfully. Okay. I was fine here. I didn't like this word unappreciative. That felt absolutely like the wrong word. Your services were inadequate. Your services were let's see what else you could have said besides inadequate. Inadequate is the first word that comes to my head, really. I do not hesitate, not I would not, I do not hesitate to ask for a refund. And then this was fine. And then here, there has some problems. I request that you address my complaint, lest I have to seek legal advice. I didn't like a comma here. I didn't think this belonged in its own paragraph. I actually would have left this out because you already said that you request them to reply as soon as possible. So this kind of feels superfluous. Then the yours faithfully is fine, but you should have given a lowercase f here. Okay. So Kavneet, good job on the whole. I did like it. You did everything that you were supposed to do here. Let's see. The grammar was good. If there was anything I wanted to see a little more of, it might have been some higher level, some high level vocabulary, maybe some more less common collocations. That would have been nice as well. All right, so keep those things in mind. Do we have more essays from you? I thought this might be your last pack, but I'm not entirely sure. I would like to see more essays from you. I don't remember when your exam is, but if you have a little bit of time before your exam, I would really recommend seeking out some additional feedback from us right up to the day of your exam. This way, you'll keep, keep in practice, and you'll continue to get feedback on your essays, and you won't lose some of the progress and, of course, the momentum that you've been making in your preparation. Okay, so do think about it. I hope I get to see more of your essays soon, and I wish you lots of luck.